It's a brand new day. Ay. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Ay. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons.
Hello and welcome to Women of Abundant Wealth. I am your host, Shamila.
And I am your host, Kathy.
And I am Lisa.
Today we have a very special guest. We have someone here who's running for Congressman, Texas District 32. I can say his first name, but I know I'm going to butcher his last name. So this is Chris
Panayiotou.
So welcome, Chris. Thank you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come in.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So you got to tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself, I am a 35-year resident of my community. I grew up in the same neighborhood I live in. I've worked in the call center world most of my professional career. On the side, been part of the entertainment scene, and I've been the editor-in-chief of Cosign Magazine for about 10 years now. And over the summer, because of seeing how things just keep getting worse and worse for folks and seeing people being priced into homelessness and no one doing anything about it, I decided to jump into politics. I think it was about July. So I'm kind of a newbie. I'm still learning I'm learning that I don't know what I don't know many times, but, I believe I have the right reason that I'm running. So I'm just riding that out.
Chris, what is something that you are passionate about?
Really trying to leave the world a better place than where I found it. I felt like going into politics would be a way I could make a significant change to a lot of people's lives. So here we are.
So I kind of want to get down to the nitty gritty a little bit. Like, what are the top 3 things that you think are most important about Congress?
About Congress, they create or vote on bills that directly affect everyone. I personally am not a fan of politicians, so I don't really have like a favorite congressperson or anything, but I think that there's a lot of money that is floating around through Congress that is problematic and makes it more difficult for regular working folks to get along because we don't have that type of money to sway votes and all of that. Congress also is very instrumental in the budget, and also, at least according to the Constitution, they're the ones who are supposed to declare war, but it seems like that hasn't been the case for quite some time now. We kind of just go bomb people just because, just because. So, yeah, that's pretty much the 3 main things about Congress. Personally, I'm not really a fan of the job they're doing. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I just feel like some people don't have a real clear understanding, and then like the importance of voting for certain things or
Right,
things like that.
And you mentioned that you was editor-in-chief for
Yes,
your magazine.
yes.
Tell us, what is your current job? What do you do on the daily?
Okay, so the role at the magazine has taken a back seat because obviously, I'm kind of doing some big things, and
Okay.
the day job, I still have bills to pay. So basically I crunch numbers all day. Yeah, that's something I can't really put on the back burner because, right, exactly. The bills don't understand that, hey, I'm trying to do something greater. And then on my lunch break and after work and on weekends, it's campaign.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Not much sleep associated with this path.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really set up for people with regular jobs to run for office. Usually they're people who are either affluent or they're lawyers because then they can not take cases or take cases.
Yeah.
People of that particular level of wealth tend to be the ones that run as opposed to just regular folks like us.
Oh, okay. So if you a newbie,
Mm-hmm.
and if I was to run, I would be a newbie.
Right.
Like if you were giving that advice to someone else.
I say make sure you have your team in order. Like figure out what roles you need filled and fill those roles ASAP because I'm serving as my own treasurer and the reporting portion of that sucks. Like it's
important to delegate.
Right. I would say, and get somebody in your corner who kind of knows the lay of the land and how this all works and what all you need to do and best practices. because like I said, I'm kind of learning as I go.
Yes.
And I wish I had like, someone who I could, well, first of all, someone I can trust
Yes.
that knows these things because, everyone has an angle. So, it gets a little bit more treacherous when you get in the political field. So I would say definitely have someone who has some experience and that you can trust that isn't going to steer you wrong.
Has it been pretty hard to find?
Um,
Have you had anyone helping you?
I have a team. I have a small team. They don't really have much political experience. Some people have come and some people have gone. And I mean, there's going to be turnover and I appreciate everyone for what they've done while they were there. And, the team has changed, but yeah, I still got to, and my campaign manager's held me down since day one. So yeah, I mean, I got a team.
It's like you guys were all like newbies together.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of flung them into this field. So yeah.
Do you have any family members that's been in like politics?
Well, so my grandfather, he was 99. He passed over this past fall. But he gave me I went out to visit him maybe a month before he passed, and he gave me a bunch of papers of people because he pretty much kept up with like our family on that side of the family going back. And apparently I had some type, I don't know what relation, but a relative that was in politics in Washington State many, many, many years ago. And then I had relatives who were part of Tammany Hall, which was like a really corrupt thing going on in New York back like in the 1800s. Yeah. But no one that I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no one that I know.
Oh,
And I'm not following in the corrupt footsteps. I mean, I'm trying to do right by folks.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
all right. So we're going to wrap this part up and we're going to go to break.
We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
This show will offer practical, simple application to understanding the Word of God. And then we'll talk about toxic leadership on the show.
Hi, and welcome back to Women of Abundant Wealth. So, Chris, I do have a question. Because we're talking about your family. Is your family from Texas or Dallas, or did you grow up here?
We moved here in 1986 when I was 7, and I've been here since. All my family moved away. So I'm here kind of by myself. I mean, I have the family that I was able to choose. Like, I'm kind of semi-adopted by a couple of my friends' families, but yeah, I don't have any family in Texas anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, where's your family from?
My dad's side of the family is from Cyprus. Most people have never heard of. It's an island nation in the Mediterranean. And my mom's side of the family is from Florida. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, Cyprus, is that the island where it's like everyone lives to be
No.
like 100? Okay. I don't know.
I
There
don't
was
think
something
so.
I thought there was something I've seen on TV. No, there's something I've seen on TV, and it's because they eat like only like fish and they don't eat like a lot of bad stuff. They make their own liquor or something, and it's like they live a very long time.
If it is Cyprus, I'm not familiar.
Okay.
Like,
Well, never mind.
So, Chris, are you married?
I'm not.
You're not.
No,
So, do you happen to have kids, though?
I don't.
You don't.
No marriage, no kids. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You prime target.
I know, right?
Are you
prime target?
for the ladies? Are you looking? No.
I mean,
What I was about to say.
I'm I guess, yeah. But I mean, I'm busy right now. I got,
yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
So that's in the future.
yeah.
Do you ever have time for dating, or do you think you'll?
During the campaign, it's very slim, and you know, there's not much time at all. And you know, if I'm over here hugged up or you know whatever, I feel like I have stuff I need to do, so it doesn't really work.
Like we
during the
can't cuddle. I got
campaign. Right,
So right now your focus is on just
right,
working the campaign.
exactly,
Yeah.
right,
That's good.
And in all honesty,
yes,
if someone did want to date you,
right,
they would be considerate of your position right
exactly,
now.
right,
And more so join you versus trying to date you per
correct,
se.
right,
That
yeah,
interests you more.
yeah. Somebody could help. It could help. You
Right.
know the cause. You know, then we can
Mhm.
we can
Show
take
your
some
Trying to get to
romantic.
know what kind of person they are.
Exactly.
that
Are
too.
they down for you
Right,
as a person and for what you stand for?
exactly,
Because at the end of the day, in my belief, you follow the woman would follow the man
right.
and what he, brings to the table and then go from there. So if someone's going to be with you or even have that interest, they need to understand what you stand
I
for.
agree. Yeah, and but also like meeting new people is like very difficult at this point, just because you know I might meet you and I'm like, yeah, you're on the back burner right now. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a very
Focus.
good thing.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta put everything to the side and focus on what's important. And
Right. So,
So-
let's get back to
oh,
She sound all
Yeah,
serious.
she talking about one.
Smack her
Yeah.
lips and everything.
so what party are you running for?
I'm running as a Democrat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And why did you choose that party?
Well, I lean to the left. Probably a lot of times more left than the party itself. But I'm definitely not a Republican. So, I'm a Democrat. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad choice.
I don't. I mean, I'm not really fond of political parties, period. But that's who I most closely.
Late.
Right.
Yeah, I think
ideologically.
it's like what you're doing, who you're trying to help, and all
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
I look at it as the Democratic Party is supposed to be for working people. Over the years, it's kind of strayed from that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's who I'm running on behalf of. So
Okay.
So just to give the outside
Yes.
somewhat of a recap
okay,
of what you're doing
okay,
is that you're running for Congress
correct.
and you're wanting to help homelessness and
Cost of living,
cost of living,
wages,
all that good
right.
stuff. That's going to actually pull up and help the minority. Is that where
Well,
you are?
Well, I would say it's going to help bring up the majority because
The majority. Okay.
61% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So
Mhm, mhm.
trying to help the vast majority of people who are struggling in today's economy. Yeah.
And for everyone that's watching, what do you think? Like, what can we do to help?
If you're aware of what's going on, you know who not to put in charge because you know where they're getting their money from, who they owe favors to. You really just gotta stick with the folks that, are doing it for the right reasons. The ones who don't have any, I don't know, to me, it's like either you're in it for career advancement or community advancement. And, sometimes not to call anyone out, but like you don't have to live in your district in order to run in the district.
Okay.
And to me, if you don't live in the district that you're trying to represent, that sounds like career advancement.
Mhm.
You're not doing it for the
You
right
do
reason.
live in the district,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
That's
grew up in
the-
the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in the district. So, and it wasn't always Texas 32 because they draw the lines all crazy but I mean, I've lived in the same neighborhood since I was in third grade. So I lived next to the elementary school I went to. But really, it's just being aware and also pressuring the people who are in office now. I mean, let them know. And you don't like something, let them know. They're supposed to be there for you, especially House representatives. That's supposed to be the closest to the people that the government is. That's why the terms are only 2 years.
Okay.
The senators are a little bit. They're 6 years. They don't switch out as much. It's like kind of a different dynamic. But representatives are supposed to be representing your community where you live. So it's really just light a fire
It's
up under
like
them.
in 2 years, you really can't accomplish a lot.
And that's the thing. It's like they say, as soon as you get in there, you're running for reelection.
Yes.
For me, I'm like,
So then, do you have any plans for like the first 30, 90 days, for what you're going to do?
I mean, I have things I want to do, but the thing is, I don't know what I'm walking into from an experience standpoint. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be received. I assume I'm not going to be received well because I have no problem letting everyone know what I don't like on both parties, even my own party. So, but I have plans.
Tellers are not really well.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is what it is.
I'm going to be a thorn. Yeah. I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there going there to be part of the club. I'm just going there to try to make life better for everyone else.
So, what's your message that you want the people to receive?
Well, the message is that things are broken. As much as they tell you they're not, they try to tell you the economy's doing great. Stock market's doing great, but most of the stock market, like 80% of the stock market, is owned by a small amount of people. And just because your 401k is growing doesn't mean you have money to buy groceries or pay rent. So I have skin in the game. I go through the same things that a lot of people go through. I might have a little bit more cushion than the next person, but hey, even the folks with cushions, I mean, we can see the cushion getting smaller and smaller every month because the cost of living is so high.
Yes.
And the reason why it's so high is because the people who run things have bought off all the politicians. So here we are.
This show will offer practical, simple application to understanding the Word of God. And then we'll talk about toxic leadership on the show.
Welcome back to Women of Abundant Wealth. So I really want to get into why or how crucial it is for everyone to know what's going on.
Well, every time there's an election, they always say, oh, this is the most important election in our lifetime. And usually that's just PR, campaign talk.
Yeah.
There's always a boogeyman, right? They always want to have you scared of something. And the thing with that we should be concerned about is not what they're talking about. I mean, there's been a lot of layoffs lately, major corporations. I was looking actually on Twitter. They had a list of all the major corporations of doing layoffs. Times are bad. I said earlier, 61% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. I saw a stat earlier that said 50% of people are living somewhere where they can't afford the rent. So it's at a certain percentage or higher than their income. I think that the scariest thing, the thing that we really need to be concerned about is that the economy is going to tank out. I mean, we're over here trying to start wars The rest of the world is abandoning the dollar. They're jumping ship because they see us as a sinking ship. Our foreign policy is going to come back and bite us on the backside. If not just war itself, I mean, the economic ramifications of that. AI is coming. They say AI is going to replace 300 million jobs. That's not necessarily in the US, but across the world. But a lot of those jobs will be here. So if we don't take into consideration working people, when working people work and they buy things, if they don't have jobs, the corporations that create these things that we buy, who's going to buy their stuff? Then they're going to collapse. So it's a giant food chain. The economy is, and right now we've just kind of abandoned people to kind of just they're out there on their own, you know.
Do you think there's anything that can help us or how we can help ourselves as far as like, because there's a lot of homes that are like, they cannot take another hit or
Right.
like you said, they're one paycheck away. And so we need to have a cushion
Right.
in order, or, just in case something happens. So what ways do you think that will help us? Or what can we do to help ourselves?
I mean, you really got to reassess your household budget. Got to have backup plans. If companies are laying off, you gotta have in mind, what am I gonna do if they let me go tomorrow? Do I have the skills to go do this, or can I go get a gig job? Or also, I know a lot of times kids want to get out the house at 18. In this economy, that's not. Yeah, that's not really feasible. I mean, rent is $2,000-$3,000 depending on what part of town you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, how
At 18, you're not
one
making-
bedroom.
right.
Yes.
The more
One bedroom.
family you can have in the house that's working and contributing, the
Yeah.
better. And you're consolidating bills. I mean, you're not paying 2 cable bills. You're not paying 2 gas bills.
And what I'm going to say is we really need to learn from a lot of other cultures because they do that. They've been doing that
They
for
do.
years. And I know people who have done that.
Yeah.
It will be a multi-family home and they'll all be working and bringing in money. They're driving nice cars because they can afford it. And they're not worried about the next paycheck because they're all paying the bills.
Unfortunately, this economy, I mean, it's becoming a necessity that,
Yes.
Mhm. And I feel like that's good just to build and just also building a community because we need to have something. We are all out to like fend for ourselves, I feel like. And you can't ask the next person for help because they're
need help
struggling too.
right?
Exactly. One of my concerns is Texas is supposed to be one of the richest states.
Okay.
We have a lot of other corporations moving to Texas,
Right.
supposedly to increase and make the economy better here. The people from California are moving here for whatever their reasons are. Now, with all of that, how is it possible that we are so in need of all of these things, homes and and better jobs, better pay? Help me with that. Help me to understand.
Can I say
that one.
something about that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I seen this happen in California. I'm from California. So, it was that we had all the tech jobs and then the rent started rising. That's what happened there. The same thing that's happening here.
Right.
Now, all the jobs move here because of the laws and how, the taxes and everything like that. And so now it's like, welcome, come on in. And so now everything is rising here, the prices, and everyone's blaming California and not looking at the bigger picture.
Right.
And so I feel so bad because now California is really struggling. My hometown, I'm from the Bay Area. And so I see how much it changed there and how everyone's just kind of left it and like, oh, now you got to fend for yourself. The homelessness is horrible there.
Right.
And I'm afraid that's going to be the same thing here.
I mean, every day families being priced into homelessness. I mean, we already have, the homeless population was already there. We already don't take care of our veterans. There's a lot of homelessness in that community, and now it's just regular families are just being priced into homelessness. And the thing is, when people move from out of state, those are the easy. That's the easy target to say, "Oh, it's your fault." Really, that's not their fault.
Exactly. I don't believe that
It's
either.
there are corporations that are buying up the housing market. No one talks about that,
Yes.
and that's jacking up everyone's rents. It's harder to buy a mortgage or to get a mortgage because they're outbidding people $10,000-$20,000 on top of asking. Um, the, the goal is always to keep us at each other's throats while we get robbed blind, and that's what they're doing. And as to why is so much money coming to Texas, but we're not feeling it because they feel like they want to get as much out of us as possible for the cheapest price they can, and if they can't get it here, they'll try to ship the job overseas or automate it.
Yes.
So it's basically, I've said before, we're like at the tail end of a game of Monopoly, and only like 2 or 3 people have houses and hotels
Yes.
on the board, and
Yes.
every move you're getting hit over the head with, oh, you got to pay this, you got to pay
Yes.
that.
Yeah, that's why I
So
think
are
it's
your
important.
friends on board with you running for Congress?
Some of them at first were like, don't waste your time, you know. My dad, when I first told him, he's like, "Why do you want to go making more problems for yourself?" And I understand, but then just talking to him, and he understood the scope of what I'm doing,
Yes.
and he's like, he's all on board. My mom's all on board. If it wasn't for friends supporting me, I wouldn't have much of a team. You know what I mean? Because my team is people that I know and that I trust and that have known me for a long time. And regardless if we agree or disagree on things, they just ride with me because they know my character. And, we go back. They love me, so they're trying to hold me down. So, but yeah, for the most part, it's been all positive. Everybody's real proud of me, and it gets discouraging sometimes, but people encourage you, and you're like, all right, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what's supposed to
Going.
be. Yeah.
Because it's like anytime you do something positive, you're always going to get a lot of negative feedback.
Right.
Sadly,
Let
but
everybody
what
know
happens.
when the election day is, so
Okay.
they'll know where to go.
Early voting starts February 20th. It runs through March 1st, and the primary itself is March 5th. It's just right around the corner. I have my eye on March 5th because then at least I know what the rest of my life looks like, at least for the next few months. But for more information about me, you can go to my website, chrisp4congress.com. Check out the platform. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate your support, your vote. If you want to volunteer, that would be awesome. I need all the help I can get. This is a grassroots campaign. And if you can donate, only if you can afford it, because times are hard, and I feel like a jerk even asking for people for money. But if you can't afford it, hey, every donation is greatly appreciated. This is an expensive business,
Yes.
and we're just trying to do right. So yeah.
But at least you felt good and confident about stepping out of your comfort zone.
Oh man, this is way out my comfort zone.
Yeah, to make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, because you are new to this, what do you think the benefits of it that you are new? So what is the benefits that people are getting? Because I feel like we're used to the same old thing, but we don't see any change.
Right. Well, you have people who've been there for a long time, like a long time.
Yes.
And all you get is the same, you keep electing the same people, you get the same thing. At least if you're getting new blood in there, of course you have to vet everybody that you're voting for. I mean, just because someone's new, they could already be bought off.
Yeah.
Or they might just be doing it just because, they want the prestige of it. But when you put people in there who aren't part of the establishment, who aren't business as usual, who are not going to support the status quo, that's how change happens. If you keep they say what's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over. Yeah.
New results.
You keep electing these people, and you're going to get the same results. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class disappears.
Yeah. So y'all stop being insane and vote.
I know, right? And just overall, we count friends out, we count the loved ones out, and you just out there. What strategy do you have?
Well, obviously, I lack funds because I don't have big money behind me. It's a lot of legwork. I do have media ties, so I've been trying to use those to the best of my ability to get the word out. I do have a name around town, somewhat, not necessarily in the political scene, but
Okay.
obviously in the entertainment scene and the media scene. Um, and I really stand my platform really stands out from the rest of the pack. Every time I go, it's abortion, gun violence, voting rights, and climate change,
Yes.
and it's
Wow.
important.
It
But
is.
when 9 out of the 10 people, that's all they talk about, and I'm the one who's talking about the things that matter to.
Right.
We're talking
Right.
keeping a roof over your head and keeping food on the table. I
Right.
mean,
Cause who cares
mean,
about a
that's
gun and all that
I
other stuff
care,
when you
but
can't even afford a place to live?
We do, but we don't care about a million people
Yeah.
trying to fix it when it's
these
not.
these are important things, but we all agree on most of this stuff.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
it's three main things that we keep going around, and we're forgetting the other
important.
things like our livelihoods,
Mhm.
like,
Right, right.
So
And they forget about the self-preservation is
It's
what
first,
that is.
right?
Yeah.
You have to, because if you don't take care of you, then you're lost in the sauce.
Exactly.
Everything is just gone.
Yeah, and I don't understand the strategy because if we all agree on these things, at that point, is it a popularity contest or a beauty pageant? I mean, I don't know.
I know, right?
So
Like you stated, it's a lot of people, like 60%, that barely, making it.
right,
Most people are living paycheck to paycheck.
yes, ma'am.
So it's very important for them to start listening to what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And it's coming for the people who have the cushion. It's coming for you next. So if we don't do something about it, things are really going to be bad.
All right. Well,
Wow.
Chris, it was good having you on.
Yeah.
Now, can you repeat your website again?
Yeah, ChrisP4Congress.com, and on socials it's Chris P4Congress. On Twitter, it's Chris P the number 4 because there's a character limitation, so it's Chris P number 4 Congress.
Sounds like a lot. No.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade. Yeah, chase those clouds away. It's a brand new day. Hey, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Okay.
My name is Chris Panayiotou. I'm running for Congress in Texas Congressional District 32. I'm running on behalf of working people because the cost of living has gotten too high. People being priced into homelessness, can't afford groceries, can't afford rent. 61% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and all the other candidates ever talk about are social issues. Of course, they're very important things, but when you can't afford to keep a roof over your head or food on your table, they're not as pressing of an issue as the cost of living, the cost of rent. We're being told the economy is doing great, but we can't see it. At the same time, we're sending billions of dollars overseas to fund wars, and people in America are struggling. My platform is basically to take care of the working class. Everything I vote on, every bill I introduce will be through the lens of, will this help working people in my district and working people beyond? Please go to my website, chrisp4congress.com. Check out my platform. If what you see there resonates with you, I'd appreciate your support. The election is right around the corner. The primary is on March 5th. Early voting starts February 20th. It runs till March 1st. I'd appreciate your support if you can donate. I know times are hard, only if you can afford it. I mean, politics is expensive. So if you can donate, I'd greatly appreciate it. Or if you can volunteer, help me get the word out. But everything is at chrisp4congress.com. Please check me out. Thank you.